Manipur Hockey felicitates two Tokyo Olympian hockey players, Nilakanta and Sushila Chanu. BJP MLA Paunam Brojain praises MP King Sanajauba Leshemba for raising in Parliament issue of making 1 out of 8 assembly constituencies in Thoubal district a reserved constituency. And Atsum's total shutdown paralyzes normal life in hill districts. A very good evening and welcome to MAMITv Primetime English News. This is MASACO NINGTHOUJAM giving you the latest news updates. Hockey players Shanglakpam Nilakanta Sharma and Sushila Chanu, who had represented India in the men and women hockey teams respectively at the Tokyo Olympics, were felicitated by Manipur Hockey and at a grand function held at Classic Grande today. MLA of Kakching Assembly Constituency, Mayang Lambam Rameshwar, graced the function as chief guest. President of Hockey India, Gyanendra Ningombam, was the special guest. Shanglakpam Nilakanta Sharma and Sushila Chanu were special invitees. Patron member of Manipur Hockey, Dr. T.H. Thabali, Director of Youth Affairs and Sports, D. Phulen Meite, Olympian KSH Thoiba, and President of Manipur Hockey, Vasudev, also graced the event as presidium members. As part of the program, Nilakanta Sharma and Sushila Chanu were presented with cash award of 10,000 rupees each by the Gurudwara Parivandan Committee. Chandel and Kamjong also presented mementos to the players. During the function, both Sushila Chanu and Shanglakpam Nilakanta Sharma appealed to the Director of Youth Affairs and Sports, T. Phulen Meite, to grant access to the hockey stadium at Kuman Lampak Sports Complex to young and upcoming hockey players so that they may practice with satisfaction. President of Hockey India, Gyanendra Ningombam, in his speech had stated the fact that Manipur since 1984 had produced a number of Olympians in the field of hockey can only mean that Manipur is best suited for the sport. Therefore, it is necessary to launch schemes related to the sport to motivate hockey players in the future. Further, it is equally important to work with transparency and accountability, he added.
Aikoigi Nilakanta amasung Sushila Chanu animoshi Bharat ki team manung yawda aikoina chokthokchaba moribdi kadaina wada Nilakanta Sharma si magi position ji midfielder mana attacking line mong changchalaga goal chananabada mateng pang kidamda one of the best midfielder assist to make goal adu takraba adu ba ekoi sanori adu ma kidamukta ekona sakthokpam toi adu ekoi Sushila Chanu si ekoi ge midfielder oina attack toriba opponent team degi bakna ball ji mullaga ekoi gi Chahandabagi Kanosida, Quadigi Hena, Adumba, interested Tawagi, Quadi and interested Tawamba, Adumba, midfielder Moina, Tapmana Pangaga, the Patlakma, Imana Panga, which are government period, but Lakiba, Aduna, we should be proud of Nilakanta Sharma and the program Sushila Chanu.
Chief guest of the event, MLA of Kakching Assembly Constituency, M. Rameshwar, said it is important to first figure out the talent God has gifted the people with. A person will surely become successful in life if he works towards honing his God-gifted talent. The MLA also urged to acquire more funds to improve and develop the infrastructure of sports, adding that the making of a good athlete depends a lot on condition of the infrastructure.
Akoi khudimana aigi iswona pitholakpa aina punsisida tawgudaba potsi karino khangpa matamdaneba akoi excel oigadorsi, then will be the jewel. We as a Manipuri, we are very proud. In what kind of sports we can excel? combative sports, individual sports. If you look at countries like China, Korea, Japan, World Olympic ta lauriba high countries in akoiga physical structure da stature da manam sing lawji karino in all these individual competitive sports. Sri Narendra Modi ji Prime Minister has selected hockey because he knows we got the attributes that is required in a hockey player. Manipur ki polo similar to the game of hockey. Manipur da hockey mani pithibi da maming lai ba chali ba poni. Akoina hudo mani akoina semak pa poni adu rabati madu ki potu ki darkar hoiba attribute khara akoi da yam gane habsi khangbadai ngasi hockey ji kanna push tawna phonare.
Director of Youth Affairs and Sports, Steve Fulin-Mete, asserted that the newly created 18 posts in the Youth Affairs and Sports Department is an initiative to encourage players to build a solid career in sports. Further, instead of presenting monetary awards to medalists after they win in the Olympics or any other championship, funding should be provided for the sportspersons to spend during their training. In today's 0 hour of the Assembly session, MLA of Wangjing Tentha, Paunam Brojain, raised the matter of maintaining a reserved seat among 8 assembly constituencies of Thoubal District and Zirbam Assembly constituency. MLA Paunam Brojain praised Rajya Sabha MP King Sana Jaubal Shemba for taking up the issue in the parliament recently for the people of the 8 constituencies in the district. However, he said, Thoubal District Reserve Candidate Demand Committee has been yearning for the voting rights of the people of these constituencies. He said, citizens have the right to cast vote for their candidates. However, people of these constituencies have been deprived of the rights of a citizen. He also drew the attention of the Chief Minister to draft a policy in this regard. The 24-hour total shutdown called by All Tribal Students Union Manipur, ATSUM, in the hill districts of Manipur is underway. ATSUM called the shutdown, alleging that the state government has failed to raise the Manipur Hill Areas Autonomous District Council Bill 2021, recommended by the Hill Areas Committee during the ongoing Manipur Legislative Assembly session. The total shutdown has brought normal life in the hill districts to a standstill, crippling normal business as well. All shops and business establishments remained shut and all roads in the hills remained deserted. Few people and vehicles were seen on the roads. However, media, medical, emergency services and religious activities were exempted from the purview of the shutdown. On the other hand, members of KSO Moreh block, along with Hill Tribal Council Moreh, patrolled Moreh town and forced all business establishments and shops to close. They also conducted checking of commuters, and apart from emergency cases, the travelers were made to go back. It may be mentioned that the 24-hour total shutdown called by ATSUM was endorsed by various branches of KSO and Tangkhul Katamnau Saklong. Committee of Civil Society Kangleipak CCSK has laid stress on the need to closely analyze the Manipur Hill Areas Autonomous District Council Bill 2021, even though it preaches the idea of unity. In a press note, the CCSK pointed out that according to the content and points in the bill, it only gives special emphasis to certain sections of the community. It further added that the bill also seems to have provision to challenge and act as a parallel to the state government. The bill also seemed to challenge the unity and integrity of the people. Hence, CCSK highlighted the need to evaluate the bill thoroughly. BJYM Hairok and FPMC Kongjom, under the supervision of MLA of Hairok Assembly Constituency, T.H. Radheshyam, moved the historical Tengol ground at Kongjom. Taking part in the cleaning program, MLA Radheshyam said brave forefathers laid down their lives while fighting the British in the 1891 on this very ground. The State Archaeological Department of the state government had also declared Tengol ground as protected area. During a visit by Union Minister of State Dr. R.K. Ranjan to the ground on August 18th, Ranjan was heartbroken on seeing the condition of the ground. MLA Radheshyam said the social service was organized to fulfill his wish to keep the ground clean.
Manipur State Archaeology Department ki makhada laibani hai leiramiba akoi yamna nungsiraba akoi saru sarang leikidaba mayam ki khomjil collection tawn leiramiba si container box is pung thamiba shed sima so yengal mayam ubi sin phim yam sadre leirami murti mayam si loyom si leirami yamna akoi damak ne akoi kanna bona leba kanna akoi mayam ki tung ji punsi ki damak ta hoi kat khiba mayam si ki ningsing magi thamiba adugumba jaga sina sigi film de leramasi akoi ai samak yongna akoi kunang ki di yam song soiba mane yam ikai ningai ne na kamjara kanda lekai sigi youth club se thopire lekai se yawiro adagi akoi gi department gi mi se yawiro akoi lebiri ba kangbu na toro kana akoi hayeng matam lakpo kana khongjom na tarpon kat pa khakta na tab aduge na maru oidi makoi si makoi na thamjara mi basi singje mong cha na phajana throughout the year sahi supa akoi maintain toro phajabjan thambasine na maru oibra samana maru oibra na khanjai.
Many people of Hairok Assembly Constituency continue to extend their support to MLA of the constituency, Dr. T.H. Radheshyam. Today also, 83 Congress workers, including 18 from Hairok Part 1, Meai Lekai, and 64 persons of Salungpham have lent support to MLA Radheshyam for the election scheduled to be held in early part of next year. Radheshyam felicitated the new BJP workers by offering them party caps and shawls. Speaking at the felicitation program held at Hairok and Salungpham, MLA Radheshyam appealed to the people of the constituency to support him in the upcoming election so that Hairok could be made a more developed constituency. He further said loving each other is the greatest thing, adding that help is another form of showing love. He said, even though we may have ideological differences, we must not let it turn against each other. He also appealed to the people not to let the general election affect the relationship, but to work on a 5-year plan for development.
Mating pango awana u jibijan to hat kono haibadu maina party kunung ideology mane ba manara so BJP sina khwai tongan ideology du tana thabuk du so onthokpa leit laira singi toilet leitaba piba gas hongam da piba yum leitaba yum piba chara helan ba yadaba lomi singi account na paisa phan ba ade ahal singi phangan ba ade handicap oire singi mayum no upai leitaba singi lupal sin ma sama piba smai tonga scheme ji pek tan lai adu manung da hauze hojik si akoi laira ba yam si laina yam kan na ba se laira ba ni na gal le masi akoi prime minister ya Ayushman Bharat aidana lupa lakh manga bhawa yeng ya hoi ka pibire akoi chief minister so lakh ani pibire sumai tawra akoi laira ba upai le jada ba sing se sabke sath sabka vikas hai na sab mana chawkhat mina ka ni laira ba upai le ta ba sing so loino mana na thamdo ne habi panam da lakh ni ngasi de akoi BJP se prithvi manung na khwai ni chawba rajniti dol loi ha.
Like-minded group LMG has extended monetary assistance of 6,500 rupees and relief items to the president of All Tribal Women Organization, Phuto Veikolam Mate. A team led by Secretary of LMG, Sorokhaibam Ojit, visited the residence of Lalam Mate at Palil Bazaar today. Executive member of LMG, Roshan Moirangthem, members Maibam Itin Maite and Nonibala Narengbam also accompanied the team during the visit. B.Ed entrance test for academic session 2021-23 of DM College of Teacher Education Imphal was held at DMCTE and DM College of Commerce today. About 600 candidates of science stream and 590 candidates of social science stream appeared for the test. Further, in test for mathematics, Manipuri and English subjects will be held tomorrow at the same colleges from 9:15 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Principal of DM College of Teacher Education Imphal, Dr. R.K. Lokendra, appealed to those students who are appearing in the test to come in time and maintain SOP.
B.Ed session 2021-23 pre-service ta janam ki damukte ko entrance test asi SOP maintain taroga ko DMCT mudi commerce ani sida morning shift di evening shift mase ko SOP maintain tawwa ko sarkar gi pandemic manung sida ko na yamna section na ko na prekhasi.
Despite claims by the government about adequate distribution of fertilizers to the farmers of the state, there is still shortage of urea at Langmeidong Mamang Lekai in Hianglam Assembly constituency. Farmers of the area staged a sit-in protest at Langmeidong Mamang Lekai against unavailability of urea. Taking part in the protest, a farmer, Ilangbam Muhindra, said they have worked hard in the field despite scanty rainfall this year, but most of the crops are not going to yield good produce due to unavailability of fertilizer in time. He said they have been moving from the District Agriculture Office to the DC office to the local MLA's house and quarters in order to get the fertilizer, but returned empty-handed. He expressed concern that the agricultural production will be less this year if the condition persists. Hence, they urge the concerned authority to make arrangements to distribute urea to the farmers of Hianglam Assembly constituency, especially to Langmeidong Mamang Lekai, within 5 days. They also drew the attention of local MLA not to mix politics with fertilizer distribution. Social worker of Wangkem Assembly constituency, Karibam Jivan, yesterday distributed relief items to the residents of Charangpat Maning Lekai affected by the COVID-19 second wave. He has so far distributed ration to 16 families of the constituency since July 31st. The distribution was part of the second phase of Seva Hi Sangathan. Jiban expressed happiness towards the people for appreciating his efforts. He appealed for people's support to bring a change in the constituency. Mera Paibi clubs and organization also assisted the distribution. Thoubal District Police Commando has recovered 40 wind cigarette boxes from 2 gypsies without registration number on the evening of August 21st at Saram Patong. The person apprehended along with the wind boxes has been identified as Muhammad Aziz, 22 years, and Muhammad Sajid, 19 years. They both hail from Haitroi Pokpi. The seized items and the 2 individuals have been handed over to Nongpok Sekmai Police. Socio and cultural organization Marup, Meitei Kunjau, Lalchingmura and Patriotic Writers Forum Tripura branch have jointly organized the 30th Imalongi Numit NINGTHOUJAM today. Taking part in the observance, advisor of Marup organization and Patriotic Writers Forum Tripura, Ningombam Pranoy said, Marup has been observing Mother Language Day since 2011 in Tripura. He appealed to the Meitei community of Tripura to speak mother language as there is fear of extinction of the language. Attending the observance, Langoljam Birmangal said, it is important to make Manipuri language one of the classical languages of India to upgrade the language to another level. He also drew the attention of Tripura government to give special emphasis to the language for its development and promotion. It's time for a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more updates.
Saraswati Charitable Trust, BSc Forensic Science, BE Cybercrime Security, Diploma in Pharmacy, BSc Medical Laboratory Technology, BSc Radio Imaging Technology, BSc Operation Theatre Technology, Diploma in MLT, RIT, ODT, Dialysis Tamnabagidamak, Manipur ki mapanda chatrabasu yaragani. Manipur University da affiliate tawduna Pharmacy Council of India amadi Ministry of HRD New Delhi ne approved tawraba 100% job oriented oiraba Saraswati Charitable Trust Pangaida course sing ase English ngani kunmathoi kunithoi gi session da tamnabagidamak admission hojare. Hena kupamorol gidamak contact tobiu Saraswati Charitable Trust Pangai 9856 575 163 natraga 9402 233 554.
Gausha College of Engineering, Karnataka gi 2021-22 gi oina admission hausari. Karnataka government as sakhang bagaloinina AICTE amadi UGC New Delhi nesu sakhang loba college asi Visvesvaraya Technological University Belagavi de affiliate toba college ni. Akupa marol gi damag Imphal gi Y Academy da contact tobiu natraga mobile number 8730925131 natraga 8904616171 da contact tobiu.
Welcome back after the break. Moving on to the national news, India recorded 25,072 fresh COVID-19 cases and 389 deaths in the last 24 hours, according to the latest data released by the Union Health Ministry. The daily positivity rate remains less than 3% for the last 28 days and is presently at 1.03%. Active cases constitute 1.20% of total cases, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.63%, the Union Health Ministry said. A total of 44,157 COVID-19 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, which pushed the total recoveries to 3.16 crore across the country. India's active caseload stood at 3.33 lakh. So far, India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has reached 58 crore. Former West Bengal Minister Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was arrested on Sunday for allegedly misappropriating government funds during his tenure as chairman in Bishnupur municipality. The BJP leader was produced before Bishnupur court today and sent to 4 days of police custody. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee's arrest came after Bankura police received a complaint from Sub-Divisional Officer SDO Bishnupur against the BJP leader for alleged financial misappropriation during his tenure as chairman in Bishnupur municipality. India brought back 146 of its nationals in 4 different flights from Qatar's capital Doha today, days after they were evacuated from Afghanistan by NATO and American aircraft in view of the deteriorating security situation in the war-torn country. People familiar with the development said the Indians were flown back to Delhi as part of India's mission to evacuate its citizens and Afghan partners from Kabul following its takeover by the Taliban over a week back, they said. It was the second batch of Indians to be brought back from Doha after their evacuation from Kabul. Moving on to the international news, US President Joe Biden may extend the August 31st deadline set for the withdrawal of US troops from Afghanistan, the New York Times has reported. Meanwhile, more than 500 tons of medical supplies, including surgical equipment and severe malnutrition kits due to be delivered to Afghanistan this week, are stuck because of Kabul airport restrictions, the World Health Organization said on Monday. And now, before we wrap up, the top news headlines once again. Manipur Hockey felicitates 2 Tokyo Olympian hockey players Nilakanta and Sushila Chanu. BJP MLA Paunam Brojain praises MP King Sanajau Baleshemba for raising in Parliament issue of making 1 out of 8 assembly constituencies in Thoubal district a reserved constituency. And Atsum's total shutdown paralyzes normal life in hill districts. And that's all for the Primetime English News. Thank you for watching.
Gausia College of Engineering Karnataka gi 2021-22 gi oina admission hausari. Karnataka government as sakhang bagaloinina AICTE amadi UGC New Delhi na su sakhang loba college asi Visvesvaraya Technological University Belagavi affiliate toba college ni. Akupa marog gi damag Imphal gi Y Academy da contact tobiu natraga mobile number 8730925131 natraga 8904